Hey everybody, welcome back. It's early 8:08 in Heartbreak AM. I don't know. I know it's a Kanye West reference, but it feels more like a Tom Waits one. I'm not sure I can do the Tom Waits voice at 8:08 AM. 8:08s and heartbreaks on a Tuesday morning, something like that. We're in the business now, man. 15 Ascension level 15. Things are getting very real. This may represent, I know that, 20 divided by 2 doesn't equal 15, but I feel like with the difficulty you get from 15 onwards, we might be at the halfway point right here. And just look at what you get. More elites, harder enemies, harder elites, harder bosses. You heal less after bosses. You start wounded. Enemies get more HP. Elites get more HP. Bosses get more HP. You start with the curse. You lost a potion slot. Less upgraded cards. Bosses give you less money. You got lower max HP. And now unfavorable events. It never ends, man. It never ends. These are not... Hey, but let's focus on the positive. Our win rate is actually probably 2 times higher than I thought it would be by this point. So I think we're doing great. Always extinguish the torch. A colorless card can be nice, like a dramatic entrance would be a great AoE enabler, but I mean, there's a lot of colorless cards we could be fishing for here. So let's not bank on that. But I think we could find something here that would work for us. This is just, statically good. I actually think 99 gold. Yeah, playing 1440. You got a problem? I think to cut a strike and a defend and make the deck better is not necessarily bad either for 99 gold. But let's just start with picking a colorless card. And I think blind, especially if we can get it upgraded ASAP, I'm going to be happy there. So how are we going to approach this first floor? I think with blind, we're going to actually get a little bit different. The beauty of it, there was no reason you didn't have to take an extra second just to look at how this was going to play out. With blind, I think that especially upgraded, that'll do really well against the elites on this floor. The AoE elites, it'll affect the least, but when upgraded, it'll actually purge their artifact really quickly, which is nice. The other 2 elites, it'll do pretty well against. I tend to really gravitate towards the stance enable and the stance disable. I think I'm gonna disagree on this one. Who am I to disagree? I've traveled the world and the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for someone. So we're taking a slightly different tact than usual here. Usually I go for as many fights as possible. The only reason I didn't this time is because it seemed like they were roughly all 3 enemies here on the early side, so thought maybe some question marks made sense. I like Empty Fist and Fear No Evil. Empty Fist is nice. I mean, they're both attacks, but Empty Fist usually does 18 damage. Or it gives you 2 energy. Fear No Evil halves your damage sometimes. I think it's important... Let's take a Fear No Evil. I think anything that has the opportunity to not just take you out of a stance, but to put you into another stance carries an additional benefit on top of it. So we'll start with this, and then you're dead. Okay, I'm not saying we did the right thing. I'm just saying it did work out. Why don't you give me a bowling bash, and let's see how we can do on this run. Let's see how we can do on this run. What are we looking for? What's our dream? The dream is to get a bowling bash. It'll do 21 damage, making you only 18 away from your own demise. Let's take a Liquid Thorns. This is just to generate a little extra for us. A little extra damage. We did get our bowling bash. You are gonna die, so we're only taking 10. That's honestly not that bad. You're going to be the last to die, so we'll hit you with that, and we'll just stall again. Now we're in a great spot where we can't get hit for 20 except being in the Wrath state. So we want to I mean, this is unfortunate, but we want to take 2, I think, just to make this happen. I'm realizing, and it's sad for me that this never really dawned on me the first time I played Spire, but especially on higher level ascensions. The name of the game, I think, is getting enemies into a range where they can be killed by, like, one of the cards we're gonna draw. Now, I mean, like, whether you want to believe it or not, that's the way the cookie crumbles here. I would really like to not have to play this eruption, but I think we have to avoid it just for the time being. So that it's less about, like, oh, outputting as much damage as possible statically to make sure that the enemy, you know, just dies as fast as possible. I think it's much more about finding, especially in a situation with multiple targets, finding like a signpost. Like, okay, if we can get them to, you know, 21 HP, then they'll get killed by a... Sure, we'll take a judgment for now. If we can get them to 21 HP, they'll be killed by a bowling bash. So if we get them to, you know, 20 or 17, then we start prioritizing the other enemy, knowing that we're going to draw bowling bash soon, for example. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. 24 damage would put you on 30, which is not ideal for me. But it does at least... Oh, let's go. This is beautiful. It does put us in a position where we're not going to get hit, which is nice. I'll take an empty fist as well. And we're probably going to have 3 elite, or 2 more elite fights, 3 in total. So I think a rest, although I would love to upgrade, especially because we don't have a lesson learned. Okay. What if I hit you with one of these? Typically... You know, we have 3 ways to exit stance here. I feel like you can just hold. Man, it would be nice if we could get to that judgment, huh? Even an upgraded judgment wouldn't have gotten us there. I think we'll just leave you here. We might be in trouble, to be honest. Maybe not, because I think we could probably do this. And this, you're on 18. A Fear No Evil is not going to be good enough for us. I think, like, that's going to suck a little bit, but not too much. And we don't even need to play the blind, because we should get you this turn. Yeah. That was not amazing. White Beast statue was pretty great, though. I've come to really enjoy having as many potions as possible. Go ahead. I don't love it, but go ahead and heal me. It makes it more realistic that I'll be able to actually kill this elite moving forward. This is a perfect block potion opportunity. And I think we've learned a very valuable lesson. We've added maybe too much to our deck without adding the proper proportions. Like, we need some extra block. I actually feel like maybe... and I haven't prioritized this card very much, but I feel like maybe a halt makes perfect sense. This is gonna suck a little bit, I think. We're just waiting, basically, till now, because there's nothing else we can do about it, but... let's start with an empty mind. Okay, and then a crescendo... Strike, bowling bash, fear no evil. We'll probably want to pivot out of this stance if possible. It is possible. I think we will play a bowling bash, a strike, and an empty fist. It's important to me, even though... Actually, I think a miracle works nicely here. We just want to put you in judgment range and then draw judgment. And we got lucky there. Look at that. Strawberry. Very helpful. 2 potions for the boss, possibly. Let's take a protect, just because I feel like we need some blocks. And this is a rare early shop for us. And honestly, shoot the messenger if you like. I don't enjoy committing to like this rare until literally 4 minutes from now. I don't know why. I guess it's because these cost money and we have other alternatives. And what's our boss? It's slime. I think, like, if you buy Pantograph, I'm thrilled. And then I can remove the curse, which costs us 3 max HP, but life goes on. And then we can actually do some smithing here, which is important to me, I think. Let's get that early eruption. I've come to respect it. Look, I'm not always... People were right. It took me a long time to come around to, like, neutralize being the right play as an upgrade, but here we are. We got plenty of opportunities here. Let's start with strength. We might as well, at this point, use a potion per fight. Absolutely doo-doo draw. This is kind of like this is a comically bad draw, but at least we're not in wrath. This is good. We can... There's a number of different ways you could approach this. I don't mind taking 19 damage. I just want to not hit you for 40. Which we actually very easily could. What are we drawing next? Bowling Bash, Vigilance, Blind. This would be a decent turn to just eat it, quite frankly. So if I play all 4 of these, boom, 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 boom. Oy, that was the... Shouldn't hold the mouse button down while you do that one. We can still play... It doesn't actually change anything. 21's 29 plus 8. You'll be like 3 away from flipping. You'll be a 78, I think. 78 is a great place for you to be. Let's, Yeah, I don't know why I thought you were only going to do 19. I guess I thought I was in the wrath stance. This is still actually fine. Like, taking 26 damage to pick a turn where we can hit you a little harder. Like, on this turn, for example, we could... Crescendo. 18, 20. You could be on 40. I think we have to. So that now, if we draw Judgment, was what I was worried about. And now we got 36 damage coming in, and we're actually just gonna die. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I think that the fact that we drew... I mean, I'm not saying we played a perfect game. The fact that we drew all 3 slimes there on the same turn probably is what sewered us. Life goes on, though. Give me a random rare card. Blasphemy. This is amazing. And we want as many fights as possible early. We've been down this road before. You know, we've lost early in Ascension, I don't know, more times than I can even count. Let's reach heaven, then you draw through violence, play Blasphemy, and the game is over. I do wish... that, well, let's not say wish, because that's like aspirational. We need the opposite of that. You know what we need is, I'm just trying to run the numbers here. This is 20, 12, 12, which is lethal. Yeah, so this, we've guaranteed that you die next turn, even if we don't draw Blasphemy. But what we need is to have reasonably high HP, so that when we go to our first campfire, we can upgrade Blasphemy, and then, like, then it's actually all over. Honestly, I'm going to take a Consecrate. AoE is still one of my greatest foes in this game. Let's hit you, and then, I mean, this is just a beautiful fight so far. I don't think we necessarily want to take too many stance-changing cards. Like, we probably could. But if we're gonna try to make Blasphemy, like, be this unbelievable... And just, I'm doing the math. I apologize for the banter interruption. But if we want Blasphemy to be this unbelievable, like... you know, we win fights so early as a result of it type of card, then we really do need to not fill our deck with too many things that dilute that, I think. That's my take, anyway. So, we consecrate, we go to 3. No, we can't... Hold on. We eruption, what are you talking about? We go to 3. You're on 40. You're on 30. You're on 8. Unfortunate. Well, in that case, we will just play the obvious. Taking 8 damage, that's just life, man. That's just how... So, way of the road. Now, if we draw Blasphemy, you're dead. Because this is, well, more or less. You probably shouldn't be playing the more or less card. I think you should actually calculate the numbers. Establishment, that's a beautiful get here. And that means Blasphemy is going to be cheaper, which will enhance its range slightly. Now, we gotta hit you pretty good on this one. This being retained, oh my god, it's such a good get here. We'll probably will use a duplication potion. Like, this is where the math must be done. So, Blasphemy into... Energy's not a problem here. Probably. Divinity, it gives you 3 extra energy, so it'll put us on 5. Yeah, so we can play all our attacks. Then, Reach Heaven would do 30. Eruption would do 27. It's 57. Plus 18 is 75, but a duplication potion attached to Reach Heaven would get us there. Easily, I might add. I might have done the math wrong, but I don't think so. Cards containing strike deal extra damage. Seems like kind of a low-key, like not that special of a relic, quite frankly, but it's okay. I do like an empty body. I worry that I'm... maybe diluting things, but I also do worry that maybe I'm not diluting them. Maybe I'm just relying on Blasphemy plus the basic, plus the basic deck to win us the game, and I'm skeptical that that's how you win. So Mummified Hand means powers make other cards cheaper, or free, really. So now I'm looking at a Mental Fortress, and I'm like, maybe there's something to that, but I'm still not totally sold. I think I really like a Hand Drill. And I'll take a Bowling Bash as well. And you know what I'm doing here is I'm trying to, whether I'm succeeding or not, I totally feel we can remove a card. I'm trying to just play into our win condition, which is essentially just making sure that maximizing... I don't think we need a Cultist Potion. Take a Fear Potion instead. Actually, whatever. I think this is fine. We should have used the potion earlier. Making it basically extending our range, if that makes sense. We don't have to wake you up. It's hard not to play this. I think we have to play this. Then if we just draw through violence, Blasphemy is a kill, right? Well, it's close. It's close. And we created... Oh, we should have done this maybe with Consecration first? I don't know. Either way. We're trying to basically get you... Have the maximum range to get to lethality right away. To weaken you would be nice. And we're not quite at lethality, but I do want to check. You play this... It's 24 damage, which is actually 36. You'll be on 68. 27, which will actually be, let's say, 40. You'll be on 38. 24, which would be 36. Oh, you really tried something. You tried something slick here. We are going to play the Protect. Even though it gets cheaper next turn, we just got to keep you close. Okay, I mean, this, you don't even have to crunch the numbers on this one. Well done. No potion, which hurts me a little bit, but that's okay. I don't think we need another Protect. I'm not, like, anti-Tantrum. I just, like... Right now, we got such a good thing going. I think this is where life's going to suck, actually. Because we're not going to be able to just, like, basically one-tap this boss at our leisure. For 0, like, in such a thin deck, I think I'll just play it and get it going around, and then I'll intercom to store energy for the future. But there's... Well, it immediately actually worked out pretty decently, I think, but... We do have some problems here. It's not like it's not a gimme, but you do put up blocks, right? Like, the block is kind of a dream come true for us. I'll take the 6 and not play the protect. You're gonna laugh. I was looking at this and going like, why the heck am I doing 9 damage per strike? And I realized, by the way, don't get me wrong, I do want to play it through violence. We probably won't play it with a blasphemy first. We'd play it with like an eruption instead. But I'd also like to not take like a ton of damage on this turn. So I think we're gonna stall on it, unfortunately. And this is a decision that could come back to bite us, but I really don't think it will. Let's get that vigilance out here just to store it. Now keep in mind that through violence does 90 if the enemy is vulnerable. So with a vulnerable potion, we're 1 through violence away from you being dead. And I don't even think we have to use the vulnerable potion now that I look at it. Blasphemy, just hear me out. Blasphemy puts us on 6 energy. Strike takes you to 156 with 2 vulnerable. This does 90. This does 90. My math tells me that we're there. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Okay. We don't need 2 blasphemies, that's for certain. I don't necessarily see Devotion being the top tier item. Judgment, though, we can do 30 damage so easily. Like, essentially, we can do 30 damage with a strike if we're in Divinity. If we're not in Divinity, we can't. But I think Devotion, because of Mummified Hand, maybe it plays okay with us here. And sure, let's take Philosopher's Stone. I don't feel supremely confident where we stand. But I don't feel bad about it. Let's take a balanced approach up the center here. So we like an establishment. We'll have a few ways to exit the Wrath stance if we want. I'm going to try it at least. I think that's kind of our biggest problem right now. Can we do 66? No. Are we going to take a bunch of damage? Yes. 36? We can do 32. Vulnerable potion's not doing anything for us. Uh-oh, stinky. Still kind of in a rough spot here, huh? We need to do 20. That's not happening. Taking another 10 damage? Rude. Alright, well, you know what? Let's just call it what it is. This is a good wake-up call for us. We lost half our HP on the first fight. What do we need? I think more ways to exit stance is pretty reasonable. I do think a Sands of Time actually kills an enemy a little faster, maybe. So we can do 90 damage on this turn. It would be nice to have another attack. That's just nice. I mean, and we got a Divinity Stance potion, which is beautiful too. We don't need any of this. Vulnerability is totally fine already. Just recognize, you know, we ran into a slight bit of trouble, and now we're going to try to work our way out of it. I do think we need more blocks, but I also do think a Battle Hymn it's going to make it easier for us to get that Blasphemy out there when we want to, and we'll buy the Evaluate, because quite frankly, we need like a big block. It's a lot of damage turn 1. We don't have 3 attacks. Pretty nasty. Well, it's just a nasty turn. We're taking 14 damage. So we're definitely going to have to rest. That's obvious. It's non-negotiable. It's also obvious everybody's going to live through this turn, unfortunately. We've already played an establishment, so let's just hold that smite. I'll play the defend, take 1 damage, just to retain the protect, because it'll probably be playable for more than 1 in the future. Now, definitely I look at this as a possible blasphemy, but just being straight up with you, I'm a little too lazy to run the numbers. So let's run an eruption. Maybe I'm not too lazy to run the numbers. Maybe I'm too lazy to run the numbers. Can I do 98? 9 puts you on 89. 71. I think we got to play it a little cooler. I wish it weren't the case. You can save this smite. Maybe play... We'll play this for 1. Play a Reach Heaven to knock you out of this stance. You know, for 0 to make sure you're dead, I will play this. We're going to get a free smite next turn anyway. As soon as we draw through violence, the fight's over, I think. Devotion will make something free. It'll be something we want to play, no matter what, so that's nice. That is through violence, so we can do 60... Yeah, you're dead. Okay. Alright. This is... I gotta just remind... Whoa! I gotta just remind myself... You know, this is a tough spot that we're in right here. We're dealing with some pretty strong enemies. They're 1 strength higher than they would normally be. So, just don't be a fool. You know, I'm looking at like a divinity potion, and I'm going, okay, 27. No, that's not how that works. 27. 27 is 54. 27 is 81. You would live. That... $27. Hold on. You would die. We would take 14 damage, but minimum we're taking 15 and an enemy's living here. And hold the front door. Establishment will also give us a free play, which might change things drastically. Or... Oh my god, I didn't do they did the monster math. The monster math. Okay, we're still gonna... We don't want to exit our divinity stance here. This is an important one. Yeah, okay. Saved? Maybe somehow this... We ended up taking 0, but we used both potions. I basically wish for you to not speak with me about that one. I hope you'll honor my wishes. I don't know what happened. Big rest opportunity here. I'm real... Oh, thank you so much. Okay, I'm realizing this floor is really looking more like a survival situation than anything else right now. And I still think that the run is, like, good. Perhaps even better than good. So we actually can get close to 21 block. But if we could kill an enemy... Because, like, this is going to do 42. So, sincerely... I mean, I think you'd have to pop it early before they get as strong as they could possibly get. Actually... Yeah, 42, that's right. They are doing 28 damage. We're only putting up 18. It's not that bad, though. This is, like, realistically, this is just kind of, you know, how she goes right now. We only have 1 attack, so obviously this is not going to be our turn. Although, it's super nice. Normally you'd use it with a blasphemy, but it's super nice that, like, a Sands of Time just works here. We do still take 4. Again, it's a testament to how annoying, you know, things can get. With the Philosopher's Stone, we're gonna need Well, we're gonna need more. Like, I worry about this specific fight, honestly. This is the one card, like, you're not supposed to hit. I would actually, just to put us ahead of the curve, let's upgrade everything. That allows us to play a Reach Heaven, which is like a essential card for us. Blasphemy puts us on 6. This would do 60. This would do 27. And we got a Consecration backing us up as well. Let's bust you first so that we get vulnerability. Great stuff. Again, I really feel like we need more blocks. Are we getting a campfire or something soon? Help me. Oddly smooth stone, definitely not a bad thing. I feel like I would like to use 75 gold to remove a card from my deck. I will do it. We could still afford a potion at the shop. That's growth for me. Because previously, I think I would have, you know, in my older days, I used to sport a stash. When I went to school, I carried lunch in a bag with an apple for my teacher because I'd always get a kiss. Always got mad as well when the class was dismissed. Don't make Blasphemy free. I like it. Look, what do you want me to do? We don't have any block. If I drew a block and didn't play it, you could be upset, but we're not in that position right now, are we? Well, I really hate to just knock you out for 0, but, you know, it is what it is. We could die here. Like, this is definitely dieable. You just store this through violence, hit you once, vaults, puts you much closer to dying. This has got to be it. Like you got to be careful with your eruption, but a Blasphemy, that's 60. You're on 34. Yeah, it's very doable. I don't see like water doing it, man. And I do feel like I'm watching us slowly throw this away. But I'm doing my best, kind of. We need to manifest block out of nothing. We can't, whoa, no! Little spooky, little spooky. Things are getting spooky. So you're putting out 24 damage. We've mercifully have managed to live. This might be the shortest Slay the Spire episode you've seen in quite some time. We have literally no blocks in hand. So you've all got to go. You might as well start there. You're dead. You're dead. Like, genuinely never should have worked, but I will take Cowardice on this one. Realistically, I really cannot see us beating this boss. I just can't. That's big, though. Even Vigilance is really nice here. We drew, like, exactly what you would want to draw. I guess we store a Flying Sleeves, because our only game plan is trying to get to the point where we can actually kill the boss in a single hit. Some people might say that's modestly ambitious. I think I would be inclined to agree, quite frankly. An Eruption into a Sands of Time, like, I mean, it helps us get out in front of it. We pretty much have to play Protect Defend. So that's 16, you're doing 41, we're at 44. So we're living in so many ways. If we can kill both of you, we're dying. Okay, so let's not do that then. If we literally can't play our Eruptions, because we'll take double damage. In that case, it's probably best to play your Smites to get out as in front of this as you think you can. You're still doing 22 damage. I can't help but notice you're still doing 22 damage. So this is, I mean, we have lost. We just can't even come close to putting out the kind of damage we need to put out there. honestly, to be humbled a little bit in Slay the Spire, it feels nice, and it feels like the second floor on this was a bit of a train wreck. I was just not taking any cards and relying on potions to make up the difference between us and the enemies. I don't know what I would have done there. Maybe we didn't actually have to take an energy relic from the first floor boss, but I'll be back to give it a try in the future. Enjoy the rest of your morning that maybe you have more access to as a result of this loss. Thanks for watching. Look forward to reading the tips, and I'll see you next time. See ya!